It is ideal tailgating weather today in Stillwater. The Turnpike Classic continues today. Oklahoma State and Tulsa coming up. A warm day in Stillwater today. What began in 1914 continues today. Oklahoma State and Tulsa coming up on FS1. And good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Alongside Devin Gardner, I'm Corey Provis. Let's begin with the Cowboys, Devin, who won their season opener despite not having their starting quarterback last week. Spencer Sanders was out due to COVID protocol, but he returned to practice on Tuesday and makes his season debut today.
Spencer Sanders is back, and it's going to bode extremely well for the balance of the Oklahoma State offense. He is a true dual-threat quarterback. He's going to be able to hurt the Tulsa defense with his arm, but his legs are maybe the difference in this game.
Meanwhile, as for the Golden Hurricane, Tulsa, a surprising Week 1 loss to UC Davis. In that ball game, Davis Brin, young quarterback, his first start, the coaches felt his play was inconsistent.
Absolutely. Tulsa is looking like we're getting our quarterback back as well, not because Davis Brin didn't play, because he just wasn't himself. They didn't see the quarterback they saw a year ago when he came in the game and saved the day against Tulane. After a great week of practice, Coach Montgomery thinks that Davis Brin will be his old accurate and poised self, and he's going to be ready to perform in this second outing.
Yeah, he was incredible in that late performance against Tulane last season. We'll come back with a kickoff. It's Week 2 of the season. Oklahoma State and Tulsa coming up on FS1. Known as the Turnpike Classic. You take a trip down Oklahoma Highway 151, about 70 miles, and you make your way to Stillwater. And these two have met many times over the years, many decades. 75th meeting. Oklahoma has won the all-time series and leads the all-time series. Tulsa, last win period came in 1998, but the last time the Golden Hurricane won in Stillwater back in 1951. And there is Philip Montgomery in his 7th season overall, 0-3 all-time against the Cowboys. Meanwhile, there is Mike Gundy, who's 5-0 all-time against Tulsa. His 17th year leading the Cowboys. Tulsa won the toss and deferred, and away we go from Stillwater. And that ball goes through the end zone, so we will see the Cowboys with the ball first from their own 25-yard line. And Devin, we will see the 2021 debut of redshirt junior Spencer Sanders. Did not play last week due to COVID protocol. He is back and ready to go today.
Like we talked about in the open, he's the model of consistency. He brings an added dimension to this offense. They're excited to have him back.
Tailback is L.D. Brown. And on first down, it is Brown trying to cut back. And is brought down near the 30 for a gain of about 4. Yohansi Burnett made the tackle. Redshirt senior from Dallas, Texas. The running game was pretty much non-existent, Devin, for the Cowboys last week.
Yeah, but you can see right there, a gain of 5 on first down. That's a positive play, and it's because of the threat of Sanders.
Last week, the Cowboys averaged fewer than 2 yards per carry. That's dropped. Would have been a first down, but dropped, but with a big hit was Trayvon Fuller. So 3rd down and 5. Starting lineup for the Cowboy offense. Cole Birmingham starts once again for Hunter Woodard, who's out at right guard. And you see Tay Martin. He's not moving around all that well. He was questionable, tweaked his ankle in the opener, and he comes out. That is worth watching as we move along today. On 3rd and 5, Sanders pressure, throws on the slant, that's caught for first down across the 45-yard line by Jaden Bray. The true freshman picks up 11.
RPO game, you're going to see a slant from the top of the screen, and the receiver does a great job of shaving the route down and making sure he doesn't take himself into the defender to allow Sanders to make an accurate ball. Very nice throw and very nice start to the game.
Bray caught 2 passes for 52 yards last week. On first down, it's a run. And still not going down. Look at this effort. L.D. Brown was carrying Tulsa tacklers across midfield.
When you come off a week where you don't run the ball the way you want, this is the type of effort you want to see from your running back. What a job, just dragging defenders all the way down the field for another first down. I mean, Mike Gundy's got to be happy about that.
Offensive coordinator Casey Dunn said in terms of the running game, they need to do more after contact. I'd say L.D. Brown did just fine there, picking up 11. And he gets the carry this time, and this is well contained by Tulsa and linebacker John Michael Terry. The Golden Hurricane defense. It's a 3-3-5 defensive alignment. Jackson Player in his 30th career game, his 19th start. They do get linebackers Trayvon Reeves and Justin Wright back from suspension today.
Got man-to-man with nobody in the middle of the field.
Another run. Again, it's Brown. Picked up 3. It'll be about 3rd down and 10. John Michael Terry among those in on the stop. So we're seeing Oklahoma State commit to the ground game early so far, Devin.
Yeah, they're going to have to throw the ball here on 3rd and 10. Look for them to try to find easy access. And when I say easy access, I mean off coverage from the DBs, giving their receivers an avenue to run their routes. Down here at the bottom of your screen is your easy access.
So a 5-receiver package on 3rd and 10 for Sanders. Pressure coming, and down he goes. Anthony Goodlow came off the edge, and the redshirt junior provides the sack. It's a loss of 9.
Miscommunication right here, where you're going down to double a guy and leaving the backside defensive end with a direct path to your quarterback. That is not what you want to see if you're Mike Gundy on the blind side of your freshly back quarterback.
So the punt from Tom Hutton, and a fair catch called for inside the 20-yard line by Keelan Stokes, a 39-yard punt. And with that, we will take a timeout. So Tulsa with a nice defensive stance to begin the game. Goodlow the sack. Golden Hurricane ball when we come back.
I get those goosebumps every time, yeah, when you're not around, when you throw that.
Let's go back to the last sack here a moment ago from Anthony Goodlow, the left tackle. Cole Birmingham starting at right guard, but they also got him in a bit at left tackle this week. And now we see Goodlow with the pressure, Devin.
As you can see, the defensive line is going to all slant, and usually the offensive line wants to collect it, but you have to mention that there's an outside force right here, and with no running back because it's empty, they don't have enough.
So force the punt, so now we see the Golden Hurricane in offense for the first time, and Bryn will keep it, and he'll spin across the 20-yard line. Malcolm Rodriguez in on the stop after a gain of 3. So Davis Bryn in his first start last week against UC Davis, 201 yards passing, but also 2 picks in that loss to UC Davis in week 1. Pressure coming. Bryn keeps his feet moving, cuts back, and Bryn tackled. Ball came out. No signal yet. It's into the hands of the Cowboys as the officials discuss. Jarrett Bernard-Converse had the ball in his hands after Rodriguez seemed to knock it free.
The ruling on the field is the runner was down. It's first down.
So at home, you're probably wondering, well, if the runner's down, why didn't you stop the play for the referees? But they don't know for sure, so they want to blow and have an inadvertent whistle when they could have gotten the ball back if you're Oklahoma State. So, but it looks like Bryn's knee was down before he lost the ball.
So it stays with Tulsa, and a gain of 7 for Davis Bryn.
Now you're going to take a look at this. But how about the poise, right? How about the poise of Davis Brin coming into this game after not playing well a week ago? And he's already shown it just on that small sample size that he's not going to be afraid of the rush. He's going to step up and try to make plays.
He had contact in his face and kept his feet going, but there is Malcolm Rodriguez with the hit.
Knee down, knee down right there. Ball still secured, so they're probably going to not confirm. They're going to probably say that it stands.
Now let's bring in our rules expert in Los Angeles, Mike Pereira. Mike, good afternoon. And the ruling on the field is knee down. And right now we'll stay with Tulsa. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you, to me now, the hesitancy on the field, you pointed it out. They like to let the play out just in case he's not down by contact. It's actually close. But to me, the left shin is down. He still has control of the ball.
This is an ACC crew. Thank you, Mike. And our official today is Larry Saunders.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's first down.
Tulsa struggled with turnovers a week ago. I can just tell you, Coach Montgomery's in that huddle saying, hey, don't leave it to chance. Don't leave it in the hands of the referees to make a decision. Hold on to the ball all the way through the play.
So 1st and 10 for Tulsa. Just shy of the 30-yard line. Deneric Prince is the tailback. And Prince, his first carry. He's met across the 30 after a gain of 2. Tackled by Brock Martin. As we look at the Tulsa offensive line, an experienced group. We'll also see Bryce Bray mix in at right tackle, transferred from Oklahoma State, but Chris Paul with the start. Tailbacks Brooks and Prince. Shamari Brooks back after missing all of last year. Is a co-captain.
If Oklahoma State stays in his man-to-man, there's Keelan Stokes, who they love.
Just got it off in time towards the sideline. Catching but slipping down is Josh Johnson after a gain of 4. Meanwhile, the Oklahoma State defense here today will be mixing guys in and out up front. Brock Martin will see plenty of starting time with Trace Ford out for the season. The linebackers, Malcolm Rodriguez, Devin Harper questionable with an ankle. We'll watch and see how much 16 plays today. As Brin throws, dangerous pass, and it's intercepted down the sideline by Jason Taylor. Taylor, pick 6, touchdown Oklahoma State. Jason Taylor starting this first half because Trey Sterling is out, stemming from a targeting call last week with a pick 6. There is a flag, but for now, a 39-yard touchdown return.
Prior to the interception, holding defense number 2. Penalty, automatic first down.
Wow, so take the pick 6 off the board. No touchdown. Tanner McAllister, the senior safety, called for the hold.
That's a tough one, right? You can the receiver kind of losing his balance, and McAllister doesn't do him any favors, right? He helps him down to the ground, and the referees called it right away.
Jason Taylor for a moment thought he had his 3rd career touchdown. He has a fumble return for a score in his career, an onside kick return for a score, and thought he had a pick 6, but the penalty on McAllister wipes away the touchdown. And it was Tulsa in its first game that crushed their own hopes of winning that game because of penalties, but some early penalties impacting Oklahoma State. As the pile builds for Deneric Prince out near midfield after a gain of 5. Tyler Lacey, senior from Saxe, Texas, made the tackle. Prince in his 2nd year with Tulsa after transferring from Texas A&M had a big game against UC Davis. A career high 151 yards rushing, picked up 5 on first down. Here's Brooks running left. Brooks has the seam. First down inside the 40. Now the ground game, despite the loss to UC Davis, the Tulsa ground game was very effective. And they have some balance now, Devin, with both Prince but also Brooks back, coming off his injured knee. On first down, this is Brooks, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Brandon Evers, redshirt senior, made the tackle after a gain of 1. Bryn so far has thrown the ball just 1 time. Here comes number 2, pressured from behind. He throws. That's caught by Sam Crawford as he brings it near the 25-yard line. Tackled by McAllister after a 12-yard gain. And Crawford's 3rd catch this season, but now a flag down.
Second down.
Gonna get a holding right there. Beat around the edge and just had to hold on for dear life so he doesn't get to his quarterback.
So hold on Tyler Smith negates that play to Crawford. So second down and 19. Pressure coming and a late handoff, and that goes nowhere. A loss on the play. Nathan Latu, redshirt sophomore from Salt Lake City, was in the backfield right away.
They tried to a running back draw to get some of that yardage back, and it was nothing doing from the start. Right tackle Chris Paul let the defensive end inside. Right, you have to protect the inside when you're trying to run a draw because it hits around the middle of the offensive line.
So the penalty, now the loss, and that's caught. But Oklahoma State drops Prince. A loss of 2, Lacey and Martin. So Tulsa had momentum, the penalty, and then back-to-back strong defensive plays by the Cowboys will force a Tulsa punt.
There aren't a bunch of plays in the playbook for 3rd and extremely long, and screens are one of them. They try to sneak one in there right there, but the Oklahoma State defense was ready.
Brennan Presley back to receive the punt from Lachlan Wilson. Good punt. And Presley, fair catch after a 44-yard punt. So the Cowboy defense in the backfield. Cowboys football, no score when we come back. Welcome back. No score first quarter. Team goals sponsored by Edward Jones. Life is for living. Let's partner for all of it.
For Tulsa, you got to stay away from the 3rd and longs, right? We just saw that in the previous drive, and clean up all the penalties. A week ago, 12 penalties, 122 yards. That's not winning football. And for Oklahoma State, run after contact was a big point of emphasis in practice and finding the running lanes. And they want to start fast and finish.
We saw some good running after contact on the first drive. Here's a nice first down run after a gain of 6. That's Jalen Warren. Made his Oklahoma State debut last week. Transfer from Utah State. Carried the ball 6 times week 1. Oklahoma State will shuffle in as many as 4 different running backs today. On 2nd and 4, it's Sanders. He keeps it, and Sanders has a first down run. An 11-yard run for Sanders.
It's a very good decision by Sanders. He's going to pull this ball out, and he wants to throw the quick screen outside, but he sees that Tulsa puts 3 over 2, and he just tucks it and goes, and it almost turns into a quarterback draw. Very good decision, and he just gets that defensive end rolling all out of the way.
Eventually tackled by Kendaren Ray.
There's that added dimension we talked about.
Warren stays in at running back, and Warren trying the right side. He's dropped for a loss of about 2 yards, well contained by Tulsa. Devin Lamp stretched that out, the redshirt senior from Cedar Hill, Texas. Golden Hurricane defense among the best in the American Athletic Conference last year. They did lose the great Zaven Collins to the NFL with the Arizona Cardinals. On 2nd and 12. It's a run for Sanders, trying to find a running lane, and spins forward after a 5-yard gain. Brought down by Bryson Powers.
Yeah, miscommunication there. You can see Spencer Sanders is going to turn and try to hand the ball to his right, but his running back's going the opposite way, so he just has to tuck it, get down, and get as much as he can. This is the 3rd and long, and almost unforced errors for Oklahoma State to start the game.
On 3rd down and 7. Sanders fires deep down the sideline, up for grabs, and it comes out, and then it bounced into the hands. But they're going to say it's incomplete. It was a 50-50 ball down the sideline. And it looked like a near catch for Bryson Green. The freshman had it. Then when he came down, the ball came out.
Yeah, the ball hung up just a bit, but he does a great job of going up and get it, the freshman. But not able to handle the ball coming down to the ground, right? That's where most receivers lose it, right? As soon as they hit the ground, the ball pops out. Tulsa almost sneaks away with an interception.
Now Bryson Powers picked it up, and the ball did clearly hit the ground. So the second punt for Tom Hudden. And Stokes across the 25 as the flag comes in late. The official indicating a face mask. The back judge indicating a face mask as that flag came in late. Here's the call.
During the return, personal foul, face mask. Kicking team, number 45. 15-yard penalty. It's 1st down. Timeout.
Still have the ball when we come back. Still scoreless. First quarter in Stillwater. FS1 College Football is sponsored by Edward Jones. Life is for living. Let's partner for all of it. 3:51 to go. Opening quarter. Still scoreless. The 75th all-time meeting. Turnpike Classic, Oklahoma State and Tulsa.
Corey, to start this game, it seems like these two teams are filling each other out, right? No real deep throws, excluding that 3rd down throw by Oklahoma State. Let's see if they don't try to attack the ball vertically a little more.
Stokes in motion as Bryn has a pocket. He's looking deep down the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Crawford.
Coach Montgomery says, is that vertical enough for you, Devin? You're going to have receiver screaming down the middle of the field. Sam Crawford, he's going to try to outflank the safety down the field. The safety on the backside is waiting and ready. Number 31, Colby Harvell-Peel, does a great job.
Two-time All-Big 12 safety, experienced player. Senior Harvell-Peel on the coverage. It's a run for Brooks and not much. There's Malcolm Rodriguez in on the stop after a gain of 1.
Now, we talked to Coach Montgomery, and he said when his quarterback is struggling, there are plays and designs that they go to that they know he's comfortable with. The plays where he has levels, right? Levels to one side where he can read high to low is what they really like. So look for down here at the bottom of the screen some type of levels route so that he can have a nice, easy read and choose where he wants to go with the ball. His best receivers right there.
Play clock under 5. Johnson in motion. Did they get it off in time? They did. Low throw. And that's a catch. And that'll be near the 1st down for Juan Carlos Santana. Needed 9, picked up 10. 1st down, Tulsa.
When you use intense motion in your offense, it really loosens up the defense, right? Usually, defenders start off pressing, then as soon as you get into a motion situation, they back off, and it allows you to make plays like that and pick up first downs. Soft coverage all across the board. See if they don't get an easy completion for Bryn.
So it's a run for Brooks. He is hit, but still fights for a gain of about 2. As Harvell Peel provided the hit, lowered the boom on Brooks, and he still picked up a couple of yards.
Yeah, how about both of these players? Nice, clean football, right? A lot of people are trying to take the physicality out of football. That's physical form tackling, and I think that Brooks might have got the better of that one. That's a kid in high school who rushed for 2,100 yards. 2,100 yards, 28 touchdowns as a senior.
5th all time in program history in rushing as Bryn rolls and throws. That's caught. And down near the 42-yard line by James Palmer. His first catch this season. Tackled by Christian Holmes.
After a struggle last week, find ways for your quarterback to see completions, right? See the ball into the hands of his receivers. They do a good job right there, just getting him on a naked bootleg on the outside. A nice, easy throw so he can get a completion and set up a third and about medium.
On 3rd and 5. To the sideline, caught by Stokes. No gain on the play. There is a flag. Holding penalty.
Holding. Offense number 56. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Decline the penalties, and now 4th and 5. Let's see if Tulsa will go for it here. Nope, Bryn is coming off. And the Golden Hurricane will at least line up to punt this one away. Second punt for Lachlan Wilson, 23-year-old Australian-born player. Freshly back to receive.
To start this game, Davis Bryn is 5 of 6 of 12 yards. And people are thinking, well, he's not throwing the ball downfield at all. But it's very important for him to see the ball caught. See the ball caught so he can have some courage and conviction moving forward.
Making good decisions so far as that ball goes into the end zone. And the ball come out to the 20-yard line. Under a minute to go in the quarter. Still scoreless in Stillwater. It'll be Oklahoma State football. No score, under a minute to play as Spencer Sanders and the Cowboy offense comes back out. They have not had receiver Tay Martin since the opening plays to begin the game, and that's why, Devin.
Yeah, he came in this game a little banged up, and he's their most explosive receiver, but he was going to give it a go, right? He's relentless. I talked to him, and he talked about his family, right, and how his family is about as relentless a family as you can imagine. They're in Louisiana and suffering from Hurricane Ida, hasn't had electricity in quite some time, so you knew he was going to give it a go, but it doesn't look like he's able to continue.
The roof came off his family home in Houma, Louisiana, following that devastating storm. As Sanders misfires. And that one intended for Presley, but he brought his hands to his chest, saying that was on him, that he ran the wrong route. Oklahoma State so far today, and mainly on the ground. Devin, Sanders has thrown the ball just 4 times.
Yeah, they've committed to the run game, right? They thought that they could run the ball a little better this week against Tulsa, but they're going to have to try and get the ball downfield because Tulsa is in the line of scrimmage with all their defenders.
After a 3-yard gain by L.D. Brown, and Darren Ray among those in on the stop.
The linebackers of Tulsa are triggering and the safeties as well. Look for more RPO from Oklahoma State as this game continues. It's the only way they're going to keep the defense honest.
Cowboys 1 of 3 on 3rd down. And it's a run, and it's denied by Tulsa. No gain on the play. Grant Sawyer, the linebacker from Argyle, Texas, made the stop on what will be the final play of the opening quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting play call, an interesting choice. to try to run an outside zone on 3rd and 7. But let's see what Tulsa can come out with after the punt. Welcome back to Tulsa at Oklahoma State. With the loss of Tay Martin, it looks like Oklahoma State has cashed it in almost in the passing game, because on an obvious passing down, 3rd and 7, they go with a regular old outside zone. Tulsa's defense has their ears pulled back, and they are running to stop the run because they know that they need to do that, and that's what Oklahoma State wants to do. Let's see if Oklahoma State doesn't try more play action or RPO to try to get those safeties up in the line of scrimmage and throw it over their heads.
First, the 3rd punt for the 31-year-old Hutton. Fair catch called for by Stokes inside the 35-yard line. As we look at the first quarter stats, more rushing yards than passing yards for both teams, that even total yards. And the time of possession, Devin, favors Tulsa after 1 quarter of play.
Yeah, I mean, they're possessing the ball just a little bit more, but both teams are trying to run the ball, right? They're not doing it very well, but they're passing the ball even worse, and they've got to find a way to create open receivers so that their quarterbacks can get comfortable, because you're going to need to throw the ball in this game, it looks like.
And Brent has thrown the ball 6 times for just 12 yards. A good field position. Prince the tailback. And Prince spins for a gain of about maybe 2. And we'll give him officially 3 yards on the play. Israel Antoine, who was questionable to play today, did not play in the opener against Missouri State, made the tackle for the Cowboys. Snap handled by Bryn, steps up, throws, incomplete. Intended for Crawford. That ball might have been tipped as Bryn let that go. So 3rd and long for Bryn and the Golden Hurricanes. Still scoreless early 2nd quarter. Is this where Jim Knowles, Devin, brings pressure right now? Is this where the blitz comes here, 3rd and 9? Cowboys look like they're coming. They bring 4, drop back. Bryn over the middle. That's caught, and what a hit provided. But the catch was made by Stokes. And then a hard hit from Devin Harper. But he hung on to it. A 17-yard first down play. And now we'll see what happens with the flag.
Corey, I mean, Devin Harper's walking off the field. I think he knows he might have lowered his head in the chest, head neck area of the receiver, and he may be done in this game. That's a target if I've ever seen it.
The result of the play is a completed pass. Personal foul, targeting, defense number 16. The play is under further review.
Well, Devin Harper called for targeting pending the review. We'll come back and take a look. Tulsa on the move, no score, 2nd quarter. Tulsa on the move, and now we await to see the call on the field. Devin Harper flagged for targeting pending review. Let's bring in Mike Pereira. Mike, targeting has been called. What do you think? Will it stand?
I think it probably stands because you're looking at a defenseless player here. Even though he has made the catch, he does not have the opportunity to protect himself. So you're talking about contact to the head or neck area, period. So to me, if it's me, I certainly stay with the targeting call on the field.
All right, Mark, thank you. But while we were away, Larry Saunders did reveal that targeting was taken off, so no targeting. So with that review, Harper stays in, and he's not ejected from this game. So Mike thought targeting, but the officials thought otherwise, and Harper stays in.
Yeah, I think it's because he tried to move his head out of the way just a bit and tried to get him with the shoulder. And for targeting, I think they want to not referee it too tight where if your helmet touches the other person's helmet, right? Because this is football. That's going to happen. He tries to move his head out of the way, and they remove the targeting.
A pocket. And now Brent on the run. And he's brought down near the 40-yard line. No gain on the play. Colin Oliver made the tackle, and the Cowboy coaching staff thought he would play a big role again today. True freshman from Oklahoma City. He's playing more due to the injury to Trace Ford. If not for Ford's injury, Oliver's not nearly as much in the Cowboy rotation.
When you're a young quarterback that turned the ball over a week ago, Bryn looks to be a bit gun shy, right? He's moving about the pocket comfortably, but he's just not letting it loose. Let's see if he can let it loose here on his 3rd and 7.
Play clock late. See if Tulsa calls a timeout, and that's exactly what the Golden Hurricane will do, burning their first timeout. So we will keep it here. A big 3rd and 7 upcoming for Philip Montgomery and Tulsa. Well, today on Fox, it's a huge college football doubleheader. First, it's an SEC Pac-12 showdown as 5th-ranked Texas A&M takes on Colorado. Then Stanford battles Keaton Slovis and number 14 USC. It all kicks off today at 3:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Some amazing, talented quarterbacks in the Pac-12 again this year. So more great, exciting college football coming up later on Fox.
Yeah, Keaton Slovis comes this year looking for a big year to perform and live up to that freshman year that he had a couple years ago.
So 3rd and 7 for Davis Brin.
Look for a combination of these receivers to flood out to the outside.
To his right goes Brin, looking and throws, and that's a sliding catch made for a 1st down across the 35-yard line by Sam Crawford. So Brin extended the play and found Crawford for a gain of 8 and a Tulsa 1st down. Crawford, redshirt senior from Rockwall, Texas, with a 1st down catch. Here's Prince trying the right side. He'll lose about 1. Brock Martin, redshirt senior, made the play from Hooliga, Oklahoma. 3-time first team academic All Big 12. And like so many, Devin, with this Cowboy defense, has a wrestling background.
Yeah, Coach talked about how he loves a wrestler, right? Because his words were, I mean, they just get people on the ground. Like, they just find a way to get people down on the ground, and that's what these guys do. They said that when they see a wrestling background for a kid, it holds high in their books for recruiting.
And on 2nd and long, that's caught by Shamari Brooks. And Harper tried to rip that ball out, but Brooks hung onto it. So 3rd down upcoming. It'll be 3rd and 6. The wrestling background has certainly helped Brock Martin and certainly helped Malcolm Rodriguez. In fact, we heard from defensive coordinator Jim Knowles when he first saw Malcolm Rodriguez. He wasn't convinced that Rodriguez was a Power 5 defensive player.
Didn't think he could play at this level, but I think he changed his mind because those two guys are the leading tacklers from last week at the linebacker group and the defensive line.
On 3rd and 6, pressure coming, and Brin is hit and sacked. A loss of 9.
Brin is just not able to see it. You're going to get the running back out to the flat right now, and he's going to outflank the defense. You got to give him the ball right now so he can catch the ball and run. But Brin holds it and doesn't get it to him, and can't hold it for a long time against that fast Oklahoma State defense.
Ben Kopensky with the sack. So forces another Tulsa punt. And that ball, line drive punt, goes into the end zone. So Tulsa had momentum, but still scoreless, as Oklahoma State brought some pressure. And here comes 52, sacking Bryn. Oklahoma State ball when we come back. FS1 College Football is sponsored by Edward Jones. Life is for living. Let's partner for all of it. No score. The Oklahoma State offense in the opener against Missouri State. The Cowboys got off to a nice start, then a quiet second half and a quiet first half for Mike Gundy's team so far today.
Yeah, I mean, they get their quarterback back, Spencer Sanders, and we talked about his added element, the added dimension, the RPO and different things like that. And they just haven't used it to this point in the game.
L.D. Brown, the tailback, and now Sanders lets it fly down the middle. Too high, incomplete at midfield.
That's an incomplete pass, but it was there, and they can see that they can use that RPO. We just talked about they haven't used those skills. On the next play, they use the skills. He doesn't make the throw, but at least they're attacking downfield so that you can get back to the running game and loosen up this Tulsa defense.
Oklahoma State, though, pretty thin at wide receiver. Now Presley comes out. He might have gotten banged up on that first down throw. Here's a run for Jalen Warren. Picked up 2, and there is Presley being looked at. Tate Martin hasn't returned since he tweaked his ankle. And this was a wide receiving core that was going to be tested with departures and no Tylan Wallace. And that's why some true freshmen were thrown into it right away in Green and Bray, week 1.
Yeah, Coach Gundy and Coach Dunn said they never expected the Twins to contribute as much as they're going to have to this year, especially in that first game.
So there's Presley.
Reset the play clock to 25 seconds. It'll start on my signal.
Oklahoma State 1 out of 4 on third down so far. On 3rd and 8. Sanders lets it fly, has a man open, and that's knocked away at midfield. It was broken up by Powers as Jaden Bray nearly had it, but then Powers poked it free, and Tulsa's going to get the ball back.
This is the second time we've seen Sanders kind of loft it up and leave it hanging. I mean, we got 5 yards of separation here in his receiver. Now, should he makes the catch? Absolutely, but he gives the Tulsa defender a chance to come and rake the ball out. And that's what you teach DBs. Don't look for the ball. Go find the receiver if you're making up speed. Get the ball out. He does a great job of getting in phase of the receiver and doing it.
That takes a friendly Oklahoma State bounce, but it's fielded by Stokes, and he's brought down by a host of Cowboy tacklers near the 30-yard line after a 49-yard. Spencer Sanders had a man open, could not connect. Tulsa ball still scoreless. Welcome back to the 75th renewal of the Turnpike Classic, what began in 1914. And early on, this series was owned by Tulsa. But the last many decades now, it has been all Oklahoma State. Back in May of 2019, they did announce that this will continue annually from 2024 through 2031, with Tulsa hosting on even years Oklahoma State odd years. Here's Bryn. Bryn won't slide yet, and now is crunched down near midfield. So a long run there from Davis Bryn. First down, Tulsa.
The way that Tulsa's using Bryn is the way we thought we would see Sanders use on the other side. You're going to get him on an RPO, just a naked bootleg. He doesn't see anything. He sticks his foot in the ground and gets vertical, right? Finds a way to get a big play and create it with his legs. It's something we didn't think we'd see from Bryn.
A 22-yard play brings it into Cowboy territory. Now Bryn thinking big down the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Juan Carlos Santana. You like that call on first down following the big 22-yard run?
Absolutely. You get a big run from your quarterback. He's feeling good about himself. Give him a chance to put the ball in the air and take a shot off of play action. They do that. He throws a nice, safe ball on the outside. Game of inches, right? We love football because literally, if he's 2 or 3 inches shorter, that ball is perfect and his receiver catches it.
It's 44 yards passing, but 8 completions to 7 different receivers so far in this first half.
Who would have thought? Bryn, the leading rusher for their team. Wow.
Here's Brooks looking for space up the middle, but Malcolm Rodriguez said No chance. Did pick up 2.
There's Malcolm Rodriguez in high school. That young man had 6,000 passing yards, 2,000 rushing yards, 115 touchdowns in his career. I played some high school football, and I was halfway decent, but I didn't have those type of numbers at quarterback. And here he is, 3-time state championship wrestler, keeping people on the ground at the college level.
Also a heck of a baseball player, too. Mike Gundy told us he was a heck of a shortstop. Could have gone pro out of high school if he went the baseball route.
Just does it all.
On 3rd and 8, pressure coming. Bryn in trouble, steps up, and now he's buried. Oklahoma State brought pressure, and Bryn for a bit avoided it, but then Tyler Lacey dropped him for a loss of 8.
Coach Jim Knowles said, you're a little too comfortable in that pocket for me, and he heats them up with the game, right? Games are what get offensive lines confused all the time. You get the defensive tackle and the defensive end switching responsibilities, and it's like a pick and roll in basketball, and he gets a free run right to the quarterback and hits it out of the park.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of baseball right there, Lacey. Another punt for Wilson. His 4th punt, and that lands at the 3 and finds the end zone. So a 53-yard punt. Well, still scoreless, but for a moment it looked like Oklahoma State was going to take the lead. Jason Taylor starting for Trey Sterling here in the first half, who's out from a targeting penalty, but that was called back because of the penalty on Tanner McAllister, Devin, in the opening quarter.
Yeah, he held them and pulled them to the ground and took points off the board. That's something that you can't have because you just don't know how games are going to play out, right? Oklahoma State's probably thinking like, it's fine, we had that, we'll get it back. And then they get late in the second quarter and they have 0 points still. I mean, that is something that they're going to look back on if they don't finish this game.
So 4 possessions for the Cowboys and 4 punts. Sanders 1 of 6 so far passing in his first game of the season. It's a run for about 3 for Desmond Jackson. His first carry today, redshirt senior from El Dorado, Arkansas, carried the ball 3 times against Missouri State last week. Jackson 5'11", 220, stays in after a gain of 4. Quick hit to the sideline. Nice move. First down across the 30-yard line for Presley. So good to see him back into the game after he was forced to leave on the last series. Picks up 10, and now the Cowboys' tempo, Devin, starts here.
That's where Oklahoma State's success is going to come right now because there are tons. Look at all these guys. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys within earshot of the football. You have to get the ball on the outside so that the receivers can catch and run and you can loosen them up.
There's Jackson as he powers his way near the 38-yard line, a gain of 4, tackled by Everett Rogers. Sanders throws, dangerous, and knocked away. That could have gone the other way. As Tyneil Martin, who did not play last week, serving a suspension at a pick 6 in his sights.
That's just a bad decision by Spencer when they match heads, which means you have a defender right over the receiver matching it. You cannot throw the bubble because that's his job, right? He's just standing there waiting for you. That's actually a terrible play by number 7 on the defense. Martin trying to make a play. He should pick that and go straight to the end zone. Right now, matched heads, you can't throw that bubble.
It sets up a 3rd and 7. Pressure coming. Sanders throws it up, and that's caught. Let it fly inside the 35-yard line by the freshman Jaden Bray. He's had a couple of drops, but that goes for 18. There is a flag for now. First down, Oklahoma State.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 4. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. That's automatic first down.
Robert Revels, the 3rd linebacker, with the hit.
Well, you can't throw the bubble with matched heads, but with one-on-one at the top of your screen, you can definitely throw the slot fade. That's a very nice throw, and as you can see, just too much on the quarterback. He's going to get vertical and right around the defender. It's an easy throw, right? And it's kind of replacing what smash does, right? Smash is a corner from the inside and a hitch from the outside, but that inside fade is just a little bit easier to throw, and the receiver can essentially just fade away, and the corner or the nickel has so much field to cover.
The ruling on the field is roughing the passer with no targeting. The play is under further review.
I was just going to say, you know, before that announcement from Larry Saunders, if they would take a look at watch the helmet-to-helmet contact that Rebels provided on Sanders. So targeting was not initially called, but now they will take a look as the contact was high on the helmet.
That's tough. Because
He's in the air, you know,
he's
Rebels
in the air,
is
and
in
it
the
kind of
air.
looks like he does move his head forward to try to give the quarterback a little extra. And at home, I know he has his hands up like he didn't do anything, but usually that means the kid is guilty because he's trying to make it seem like, oh, no, I didn't do anything. But he does give a little jolt of energy into the quarterback. So with targeting, they try to say, hey, if it's not forcible contact, I don't know. I don't know. He didn't use the crown of his helmet. It's essentially his face mask that's hitting the quarterback, which will warrant the roughing the passer. But does he get the crown of his helmet down? I don't know, Corey. That's tough. But the way they're calling it, like the one they didn't call earlier,
right,
they may stay with that's just a roughing the passer.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting. It's first down.
Like I thought, like that's the way the game is going right now, right? They're kind of letting them play, and if it's not something malicious, they're not calling it.
Mike Pereira, by the way, did check in. He agrees with the call from Larry Saunders, no targeting on Rebels, so he stays in. Now, Oklahoma State, some momentum, Devin, for the first time today offensively here. No score, 5:35 to play.
Let's see if they don't take a shot here.
This is the first red zone trip for either team today.
Yeah.
And the 7th play of this Cowboy drive. Sanders dropped it, picked it back up, and is brought down for a loss. There's Tyneil Martin after Sanders lost it, got it back, and loses yardage on the first down play.
That's the one danger with the RPO, right? He holds it in, but just a little too long, gets indecisive, and then, oh, do I want to know? And then he has to just pick it up and try to make a play. You have to have decisive decision-making when you're making plays here in the red zone.
So a loss of 5. On second down, it's Jackson, and that hole plugged up quickly. Jackson Player with a loss of a yard along with Dorian Hopkins, but Jackson Player, number 90, senior from Waco. Today his 30th career game, his 19th straight start. So, Devin, what's the call here on 3rd and long with 4:20 to go until halftime?
Let's see if they don't try to draw him in and get to some type of screenplay to try to get a lot of his yardage back.
In the pocket, throws high. That's caught inside the 10, on his feet and into the end zone. Touchdown, Jaden Bray. The first touchdown of the collegiate career for the freshman from Norman, Oklahoma, Jaden Bray. Sanders hung in there, threw it up high. Bray caught it, spun away, and Oklahoma State's on the board.
That's a play that usually Tate Martin's in the game to make. Jaden Braden is a beneficiary of Tate Martin not being able to perform in this game.
Tyon Davis had a shot for the ankle tackle, could not bring him down. And the Cowboys lead 6-0.
a very good job. He goes up and gets it with his hands, right? He comes down, and now the rest of that is all him, right? Making a play, stick his hand in the ground. Is he going to go down? Because if that forearm goes down, oh, the back of the hand, if they don't stop it.
Extra point is up and good for Alex Hale.
If it's his forearm, he'd be down.
So we have the first points today. Spencer Sanders finds the freshman Jaden Bray 7-0 Cowboys.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, we got a big showdown in Columbus between Oregon and Ohio State. Plus 13th ranked Florida heads south to Tampa, and number 5 Texas A&M gets ready for a mile-high matchup with Colorado. We'll see you at the half, Corey and Devin.
All right, Mike, thank you. 7-0 Cowboys. Spencer Sanders, 3 of 4 on the drive, and Jaden Bray, his first touchdown in his collegiate career. The freshman from Norman. His parents are Army veterans, 26 yards. 7-0 Oklahoma State. And no return for the Golden Hurricane as Tulsa has the ball from the 25. Devin, let's go back to the score.
Yeah, we were clamoring for Spencer Sanders to get a chance to get the ball in the air down the field, and he does a great job here showing poise and getting through his reads. Freeze it there. So at the start, he has his eyes outside, right? He doesn't like what he sees. Let it run. He moves inside. Same thing. Right there, and then he gets his eyes to the outside. He's to his third read, getting the ball to Jaden Bray on the dig, and Jaden Bray does a great job of going up, grabbing it, sticking his hand in the ground, and making sure he gives a little bit more to get in the end zone.
Sanders has completed 4 passes today, 3 of the 4 to the freshman Jaden Bray. Again, haven't seen Tay Martin in a while, out with an ankle injury. Let's see if Tulsa can respond. And no gain of the first down run, maybe a gain of a yard for Anthony Watkins, his first carry today.
8 plays, 80 yards on that previous job for Oklahoma State. It looks like they hit their groove, right, and kind of hit their stride. Sanders made some completions. Now, let's see if Tulsa can match that energy. Davis Brin's going to have to be efficient on this drive to make sure this game doesn't get away, even though it's 7-0, right? It looked like Oklahoma State really got comfortable in that last drive and hit their stride. Let's see if Tulsa can do the same.
And 2nd and 9, it's a run. And a good run across the 30-yard line. Once again, it's Watkins. Picks up 5 more. Anthony Watkins, his 2nd year with the Golden Hurricane after transferring from Missouri. Was a 4-star recruit out of South Hills High School in Fort Worth, Texas.
Corey, this 3rd down feels big, right? Because, like I said, Oklahoma State found their groove. If you don't get the first down here, you give the ball back with Oklahoma State getting a chance to get the ball in the end zone before half.
Oklahoma State, too, Devin, all 3 timeouts.
Absolutely. And they're going to play man-to-man across the board.
Stokes in motion on 3rd and 4. A pocket for Brin, off the hands and incomplete. Was trying to hit Josh Johnson. It'll be 4th down.
Coach Knowles feels comfortable playing man-to-man, and they take his first read away, and he has to scramble and try to find the next one. The receiver's not quite ready. It's actually a beautiful pass, just not ready to receive the ball was Josh Johnson, and it was almost an interception. That would have proved disastrous.
Now Johnson catches that ball. Jason Taylor was right there ready to provide a hit.
This is exactly what we were afraid of, right? Just a second ago, I said if they don't convert, they leave a lot of time with Oklahoma State having 3 timeouts to go put points on the board before the half.
There's Presley on the return. And Presley slips away at the 30. Great return down the sideline, then he's shouldered out. So a nice return, a 43-yard punt, but a 19-yard return for Brennan Presley. Now tonight on Fox, join us as the Yankees and Mets take Citi Field on the 20th anniversary of the day America will never forget. Tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Never forget. Here we are 20 years later. Starting field position for the Cowboys today. The 3 timeouts, leading by 7. Underneath. And that was well contained by Tulsa. A loss of 1 of the play. Hansi Burnett on a hit of L.D. Brown.
It's a good job by Spencer Sanders. They called a shot play with a couple double moves in the route, and he didn't think he had it, so he checked it down to his running back. Got a corner blitz. The safety's way off the hash. He's coming.
It's Trayvon Fuller, defensively top of your screen. He stays back on 2nd and 11. Over the middle, intercepted. It's picked off. On the return, it's Justin Wright, the linebacker. Pick 6, touchdown, Tulsa. 55-yard interception return for the linebacker from Abilene.
Wow. That just took a turn for the worse. We talk about Oklahoma State trying to drive down and score before the half, and Tulsa picks the ball off and takes it to the house.
Justin Wright was a 2nd-team all-conference player last year. Did not play last week. Was suspended stemming from the brawl against Mississippi State in the bowl game. The extra point is up and good for Zach Long. And the juju hat is on for Tulsa. And a 7-7 game with minute 44 to go until halftime.
Brennan Presley's been good for Spencer Sanders, and he's looking right past Justin Wright to try to get it to him behind him, and he's standing there, and it's a gift. Oh, thank you. And he gets up the sideline. He can't believe there's no one there to chase him. But that's the risk, right? When you throw it to interception to a linebacker, you only have offensive linemen and the quarterback, and those defenders start looking up that quarterback to make sure he can't get him, and it's smooth sailing from there. That's a huge play.
So Justin Wright, one of 3 defensive starters that did not play in the opener. He was suspended for his role in the brawl against Mississippi State. Makes a huge play on a pick 6 score, all tied at 7, and the Golden Hurricane will get the ball first to begin the second half.
I'm sure Coach Montgomery is doing his best Mason impression, saying, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Justin Wright makes a splash in the game in his first game of the season. He's happy.
Now, this was a low-scoring game last year.
Yeah.
Now 16-7, Oklahoma State won. And this was scoreless for most of this first half. And now 7-7 as Sanders comes back. See his numbers in his first game. Did not play in the opener last week against Missouri State. Due to COVID protocol, was cleared to practice starting on Tuesday. Down the sideline, that's a catch near the 30-yard line for John Paul Richardson.
Oklahoma State's not going to put the ball in harm's way, right? They're not going to have the ball thrown in the middle of the field. They're going to throw it. They're going to throw it to the outside, see what they get, and see if they can get some momentum going to try to get points before the half.
Cowboys have all 3 timeouts, and 2nd and 5. Again, it's a hit to the sideline, and that'll be near the marker again. It's to Richardson. So John Paul Richardson, freshman from Missouri City, Texas, adding to this young core of wide receivers right now for the Cowboys. It's a gain of 6 and a first down.
Tulsa has to be careful because they could fake the bubble and then throw it to a fake blocker.
In traffic, but it got through, and a catch across the 45-yard line. That was to Presley, and that could have gone the other way. Somehow Sanders fit that into a tight window to Presley.
Yeah, he stuck it right in there, and you can see it's kind of a trap by the defense, and trap cover 2. Look, and he gets the ball in there, luckily.
Incomplete, intended for Jackson. Stops the clock at a minute 13. And now Jackson, he comes out hobbling a bit.
Remember, he threw those bubbles. They do have in their playbook fake bubble and then go to the end zone for the blocker. It's
a run. L.D. Brown hit and dropped. Jackson Player, senior from Waco, made the stop.
Makes a stop and has something to say about it. He said, hey, don't run my way. I'm here all day. You can see not the tallest man, right, but he's stout in the middle of the defense.
And Oklahoma State will call its first timeout. So a 3rd and 9 upcoming for the Cowboys in a 7-7 game. Philip Montgomery has never defeated Oklahoma State. 0-3 lifetime in this matchup. His 7th season. Second longest tenure of any coach in the American Athletic Conference. 6-win team last year. You see the numbers. Tulsa has not defeated Oklahoma State since 1998. Sanders 8 of 16 passing. See the numbers: 107 yards, a touchdown, and the pick a moment ago. 3rd down and 9. Movement. And this will cost Oklahoma State 5.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
It's Josh Sills, redshirt senior guard.
Trying to get out just a little too quickly to pass protect for his quarterback.
Sills, a great player, first team All Big 12 last year. But commits the penalty. It's now 3rd and 15 for Sanders. He'll step up, try to run, and Tulsa was ready for that. Colin Wick, a co-captain today with the pressure.
Tulsa may want to use one of their timeouts.
Yeah, 2 remaining here. Good call, Devin. Right now the clock is running.
Yeah, they're just going to try a quarterback draw to see what they can get and try to catch Tulsa off balance, but they're right there and they're ready for it. Very good job. You can see they put a spy on the quarterback, but the spy never even had to do his job because the defensive line collapsed and gets to Spencer.
Will not use a timeout. Tulsa, remember, will get the ball first to begin the second half. Play clock expires.
Delay of game. Offense, number 29. 5-yard penalty. Correction, the penalty is declined. 4th down.
So Tulsa declines the penalty. And Keelan Stokes, will he get a chance here to return this Tom Hutton punt?
Tulsa did not use their timeout, so they're content with going into the halftime 7-7.
That punt goes out of bounds, as they will mark this one off at around the 20-yard line. Well, 2 touchdowns today. First, it was Spencer Sanders.
Yeah, and back-to-back drives, a little fireworks here. Spencer Sanders getting through his reads and then making a play was the freshman, Jaden Bray. And then Spencer Sanders trying to go back to the well again on the next drive and throws it directly to Justin Wright. Justin Wright does the rest, takes it to the house.
Interception return for a score from the linebacker Wright. And a 7-7 game approaching halftime.
How about that point swing, right? You think you're going to drive down, you're feeling good about yourself, you're in a groove, you think you're going to drive down and score before the half, and then nope, you're going to give the ball to the other team, and we're going to go back to 0-0 and start this game anew when the second half begins.
And Bray will just take a knee, and that will be the final play of this first half. Tulsa has not defeated the Cowboys in Stillwater since 1951. So a 7-7 score at the half. Coming up is the State Farm Halftime Show with Mike, Emmanuel, and Coach Peterson. 7-7 score. The State Farm Halftime Show is coming up next after the break on FS1. Halftime score in Stillwater. Tulsa 7, Oklahoma State 7, and the Golden Hurricane will get the ball first to begin the second half. Welcome back with Devin Gardner. I'm Corey Provis. Look, these two teams last year, it was a tight game, a close game. 16-7 with the Cowboys winning in the end. 7-7. Is this the game you thought you would see entering week 2?
Yeah, I didn't think so, right? You thought you would see a little bit more fireworks. Now, we did see some towards the end of the second quarter with a big play from Sanders, but then he turns it over on the next play and looks just as uncomfortable as he looked in the beginning. So we're just going to look forward to it. There's a lot to be left out there, right? I bet you both of these teams went to the locker room saying, hey, we have left a lot of plays out there, and we need to get this thing going so we can win this game.
As we look at the first half numbers, not pretty on either side offensively. The one turnover was a big one, a pick 6 for the Golden Hurricane. And Justin Wright as Kenny Solomon is back to receive the kick from Tanner Brown. And it's dropped in the end zone, and he's going to take it out. And that decision from Solomon was not a wise one. Kenny Solomon dropped it, and Devin then picked it up and made the wrong choice.
Yeah, he panicked. I mean, if you're in the end zone, you could just kneel down on it, kick it out of the back of the end zone. You can pretty much do everything, but you don't want to bring it out after that. That just sets up Tulsa for not very good field position to start in the second half when they're trying to come out and have a spark, right? We talked about it at halftime. You want to have a spark in the second half, and that's not a good start.
And the worst starting position so far today, late clock. And the Golden Hurricane do snap it in time. It's a run for Shamari Brooks. Tulsa, despite the week 1 loss to UC Davis, the Golden Hurricane was able to move the ball on the ground, but Devin, not so far today against the Cowboy defense.
Yeah, that's usually the difference between FCS and FBS, right? You got a Power 5 opponent this week. They're bigger, they're stronger up front, they're a little faster in the back end, getting to your run game, and Tulsa just hasn't been able to recuperate that run game from a week ago.
And Bryn used 7 different receivers in the passing game, just 44 yards in the air in the first half. On 2nd and 7, tries to add to that and does. It's caught by Johnson. Low throw, but hauled in at the 18-yard line. A gain of 4, so 3rd and short upcoming.
That's why ball placement and accuracy is so important. That ball's thrown at the knees of the wide receiver Johnson, and he has to get down, and it takes away the yards after catch, which makes this now a 3rd and 2 rather than a fresh set of downs.
3rd down and 2.
Bryn has done well on the move, finding the open targets or even running with his legs. Let's not see if they don't put him on the move here and give him more of a run-pass option on the edge and make the throw a little easier.
Now the play clock again winding down. It's at 0, and here comes a flag. Did Tulsa call a timeout?
Delay of game. Offense, number 7.
And now let's see, the side judge does run in.
Prior to the delay of game, timeout, Tulsa. Their first of the game. Correction, their first of the half, 30 seconds.
That was almost disastrous, Corey. I mean, that's something that you just cannot happen. In your first drive, you got a favorable 3rd and 2, right? You wish you would have gotten the first down the play before, but you got a favorable 3rd and 2. Your playbook has to be fast, right? 3rd and 2, it shouldn't take that long to get a play in, and they take quite a bit of time and have to burn a timeout early. And that may prove that they might need that timeout later in the game.
And also, Devin, let me ask you this, because you've been in those locker rooms at halftime. You get the ball first, you come up with a game plan, what you want to do, but then the decision decision from Solomon to try to return the kickoff. Did that change everything and what Philip Montgomery and the Golden Hurricane were going to do offensively by the lack of field position?
I can tell you right now, their plan was not to start the 10-yard line, and he did put a damper on those plans. But when you get to 3rd and 2, you got to have a play ready. You got to know what you want to do to manipulate the defense, right? You had a half to game plan, and so let's see if they don't have their best play to get 2 yards right here.
Oklahoma State. The numbers last year defensively, tops in all of FBS.
Coach Knowles said they played 3rd down defense like it's on the goal line, right? And this is 3rd and 2, so this is about the goal line for them.
It's a run, and they won't get it.
They will not.
Shamari Brooks the carry. He was popped by Malcolm Rodriguez. A gain of 1. It's 4th down.
Play it like it's the goal line, and Rodriguez, the tackling, wrestling machine. He kind of gets wrestled to the ground there, and then he still makes the tackle. Very good job, right? You love to see a linebacker that doesn't make excuses, and even a receiver for that matter. We don't want pass interference, right? We want the catch. We don't want a holding call. We want you to stop him on 3rd down so we can get off the field. They punt it away. Our offense is back on the field. That's a good start for the Oklahoma State defense coming out of half.
Short yardage situations last week. Tulsa used 6'2", 242 junior Steven Anderson in the first game of the season, but stuck with Brooks, and he picked up 1. And now that forces the punt. So it's a 52-yard punt. And the Cowboy defense starts out strong in the second half. 7-7 Cowboy ball when we come back at FS1. We never forget, never will. 20 years later, Philip Montgomery, 20 years ago, he was coaching and teaching in Stephenville High School, Stephenville, Texas. And now here's a run and a carry for Dominic Richardson, a 12-yard gain. But Philip Montgomery telling us he was on his way to teach class when our world stopped. And the attacks began. Sanders a run across midfield as he dives forward inside Tulsa territory. 11 more. And the irony, Philip Montgomery told us about the class that he was going to teach at the time was U.S. history. And you think about that word, it's in the past. It's historical, but it was living history and present history at that awful moment 20 years ago. Now there's an injured Tulsa player. That's Brayson Powers, number 21, redshirt senior safety, who was down.
A little friendly fire there by the 2 Tulsa defenders.
And Powers able to get up. On September 11, 2001, we vowed to never forget. Help America keep that promise to its heroes. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org. That's T2T.org to donate. Antonio Martin also was shaken up on that last play, as he will head out along with Powers. It's a senior and a redshirt senior coming out. Some momentum here for Spencer Sanders and the Cowboys on this first drive of the second half in a 7-7 game. Sanders throws on target. That's caught by Presley. Brought down by L.J. Wallace after a gain of 3.
L.J. Wallace made the tackle, but Trevon Fuller was the one who made that play, right? At the point of attack, you have to be as stout as possible. He takes his receiver, drives him in the backfield, and allows that play to be made.
3 catches now for Presley, 34 yards. Tame Martin remains out with an ankle injury for Oklahoma State. Pressure coming. Sanders hit, and he got it off as he was being pressured. And the pass is ruled incomplete. Jackson Player and Cullen Wick pressuring Sanders. It's third down.
That's a very good job by Sanders trying to get through his reads, but the pocket collapses and he has nowhere to go. But he finds a way, right? Finds a way to find his receiver and get the ball to him. Very good job, because now you leave this at a third and medium rather than a third and extremely long.
And Presley was running across the middle of the field. It's a 3rd and 7 in a 7-7 game. Wide receiver screen to Presley and cannot slip away. Powers back into the ball game, no gain, and a big third down play by the redshirt senior from Spring, Texas.
When you get the receiver in motion, you think he's going to try to fly the flat, but they just throw a screen really quickly, and it's nothing there. Tulsa is ready for the screens to the receiver and the running back running the ball. You have to stretch the ball down the field so that you can loosen up, and then you can have all of those plays.
As wide receiver screens, as you all know, you need some blocking on the outside. That was a true freshman, John Paul Richardson, the wideout, who was trying to block, and that didn't happen as that punt goes into the end zone. And Tulsa's defense makes a stop, and the Golden Hurricane will get the ball back when we return. So Powers made a third down play, forcing a punt. Tulsa ball 7-7. All tied 7-7 in the 75th meeting of the Turnpike Classic. Now, the last couple of years, Tulsa's been close at halftime before losing a couple years ago by 19. Tight one late last year. Last time that Tulsa won in Stillwater back in 1951. The Cowboys have won the last 8 and 22 straight at home. Here's Bryn. He throws. That's caught by Prince. Slips away across the 25 and now upended across the 30. Thomas Harper made the play, but a good pass and catch to Prince, and a first down for Tulsa.
That's where you get the drive started. Prince giving a little shimmy, a little shake to get free up the sideline. He had one of those Oklahoma State defenders reaching for air.
It won't be a first down. They're going to say he stepped out of the 25-yard lines. This is 2nd down and 5. Time for Bryn over the middle and finds Juan Carlos Santana. And that'll be a first down near the 35. Tackled once again by Harper.
Got some positivity on your first 2 throws, first 2 plays of the game. Let's try to make sure that they keep this rolling, you know, keep going fast and play the way that you want to play and keep Oklahoma State off balance.
Prince the tailback, and Prince got it and fell down. Devin, what happened there?
I don't know. Maybe a banana peel was thrown on the field, right? He just starts to run his feet, and they just go out from under him. It's like he didn't trip over anybody or anything. I mean, that's puzzling. Man.
It's a loss of 5. Bryn, deep ball over the middle, off the fingertips of James Palmer. Redshirt junior tight end.
Yeah,
had a chance.
Snuck him down the middle of the field, right? You get play action in Little League football. They call that the tight end dump. When you get to college, it's a little deeper. He puts it on his hands, but that tight end, he's not used to catching a bunch of balls. Missed an opportunity there.
Palmer caught one pass in the first half.
Corey, you remember that? The tight end pop pass?
The tight end pop pass.
The tight end dump is what we call it. Tight end dump it right over the defense.
So it sets up a 3rd and long. Some late pressure from the Cowboys. Over the middle, knocked away incomplete near midfield. Jarek Bernard Converse knocked it away. 4th down.
At home, you see that throw and you see an incompletion. But I see a quarterback that throws with conviction, right? He stands in the pocket. You got a little tug of the jersey there. But he throws that with everything he has, and that's just a much better play by the defender. I love to see quarterbacks who haven't had a bunch of success through the air still throw with conviction, because at some point you're going to have to use your arm to win the football game.
Bernard Converse starting his 35th straight game today, and a good defensive play and a short punt. And the Cowboys have decent field position when we come back. Still tied 7-7 on FS1. FS1 College Football is sponsored by Edward Jones. Life is for living. Let's partner for all of it. 9:09 to go, third quarter on a warm day. In Stillwater, all tied 7-7. Sanders, Devin began 1 of 6, 9 for his last 12 with a touchdown, but also the pick 6.
Yeah, I mean, he started off extremely slow. He did have an interception in that cinch area, but he's a lot more consistent. They're getting him on the edge the way he loves to play.
Rolls and throws. That's dropped. That's a catchable ball and dropped near the 40-yard line by Presley.
Yeah, we're clamoring in the first half for them to get him on the edge, right? Get him on the edge and let him have that run pass option where he's comfortable. He's very comfortable here. You can see that ball just flies right out of his hands, and that young man is going to catch that ball more times than not. Brendan Presley's been reliable on the day. More of that, right, Corey? More of that. Get this young man on the edge and allow him to make plays the way he's comfortable doing.
It's a run. And L.D. Brown took a hit as he tried to find a running lane. Be third down, gain of 3. Three of 9 on third down. Tulsa showing pressure. It's a run up the middle on third down, and the ball came out at around the 35. The Golden Hurricane believe they have it. Danny Godlewski, the center, believes the Cowboys recovered. And Oklahoma State did recover, but did not pick up the line to gain. So on third and long, a run of 40 like the call there as Oklahoma State will now punt.
I mean, it's just baffling to me, Corey. And you can see here the ball's clearly out, but Oklahoma State recovers it. It's baffling to me, right? We just saw the sense area, right, where he's 9 of 12. Still hasn't trusted him to make plays on third and medium to long with his arm.
Flag is down as Stokes receives the punt near the 20 after a 44-yard punt.
You got a senior quarterback that's played well right in the past, and he's out in his first outing in the second half, and they have not given him the keys to try to make plays on
There's
third.
no foul on the play. It's first down.
Well, tomorrow on Fox, the NFL is back with a huge doubleheader. First, Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles against the Falcons. Then, at America's Game of the Week, Aaron Rodgers leads the Packers against Alvin Kamara and the Saints. It all kicks off at 1 o'clock Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check your local listings for the game in your area. You ready for week 1?
First time in a long time that the Saints are going to trot out there without Drew Brees, right? You got Jameis Winston at the helm, and that man is a bad man. Aaron Rodgers, last year's MVP.
It's a run for Deneric Prince after a gain of 2. Mason Cobb, sophomore linebacker, had a sack last week against Missouri State, made the stop. So Bryn 11 out of 17 passing for 63 yards.
He threw a conviction on that last drive. Let's see if he can continue to do that. Second and 8 is the perfect time to put the ball in the air.
On second down and 8, it is a catch for Prince and a first down. Big play down the sideline as he shouldered out near the 45 by McAllister.
If you remember earlier in the game, they had that similar type of play where the running back is straight out into the flat and he outflanked the defense. As you can see, they went into halftime and said, hey, you had that throw. Get it to him now and allow him to run. And that's what he does. He gets up the sideline, gets a big gain.
It's a 20-yard play and a first down. 3 catches now for Prince. They fake it to him. Bryn lets it fly down the sideline. Has a man, and it's caught by Sam Crawford. Beautifully thrown by Davis. Davis Brin, first down Tulsa, a 40-yard play.
Corey, at home, after that incompletion on third down the previous drive, they were probably looking at me like, what do you mean that's good? Because he's throwing with conviction. How about that throw up the rail? I mean, an absolute dime. He completely believes in it, and now Tulsa is rolling.
Inside the red zone. First red zone trip today. It's a run for Prince. And he's brought down by Sione Asi and Israel Antoine.
It's just a fade, right? You're going to get a play action, but that has no bearing on the corner because he's playing man-to-man. He's just beat. He beats him right off the line, and he drops it on the sideline. What? I mean, that's a dime. That's exactly what you call dropping it in the bucket.
Those kind of throws that, Brin made last year in that remarkable comeback against Tulane.
Yeah. You can see his confidence growing as his game goes, right? It's just growing and growing, right? In the first half, right, wasn't allowed to do a whole bunch, and now he's feeling good about himself, and I wouldn't be surprised if they allowed him to throw it here in the red zone.
That was Devin Harper walking slowly towards the sideline. Harper playing today was questionable with an ankle injury, and he was shaken up on the last play. Now, Brin, before last week, only had the 1 quarter of experience that came in the Tulane game last year. Coaches felt that his performance week 1 against UC Davis was inconsistent, as Tulsa on the move here in a 7-7 game. Up the middle, that's a run, and a strong run for Prince inside the 10. Tackled by Jason Taylor. It's 1st and goal. Golden Hurricane after a gain of 9. Now Tulsa going fast. Prince looking for a cutback. He's got it, brought down near the 3.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brin tries to keep one of those at some point. The defensive end is collapsing down fairly quickly.
Oklahoma State late getting guys off the field. Wide open on the outside. Touchdown to Derek Prince. Touchdown Tulsa.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 players on the field. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
So the tempo that Tulsa was playing caused havoc defensively, and the Golden Hurricane take the lead in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, he's going to get the ball, and it's designed to go back to the left, but he's going to go up, and then he sees a nice jump cut and gets to the outside. Very good job of reading his blocks and seeing where he needs to go with the football.
Second touchdown this season for Prince. And Philip Montgomery and the Golden Hurricane take the lead. It was Crawford down the sideline that set it up inside the end zone. It was Derek Prince for the go-ahead score. 5:37 to play, 3rd quarter. Tulsa with the lead. 14-7, a 7-play, 80-yard drive capped off by Deneric Prince. 3-yard touchdown run. Sam Crawford had a pivotal 40-yard catch. And Davis Brin was 2 for 2, 60 yards passing on that touchdown drive.
The old 9 and the old 8 making plays.
Now return. Brought down near the 40-yard by the 25-yard line by L.D. Brown. Let's go back to the touchdown run, Devin. Was there a hold?
Yes, Prince scampers to the outside, but if you take a look right here, could that be a hold?
It's Ezra Naylor.
Referees
Tulsa
might allow Tulsa to get away with one. I told you, when those hands go up, he did it. He did it for sure. So
Ezra Naylor had his hands on Corey Black. No call. The touchdown counts. And now it's Oklahoma State and Spencer Sanders down 7. Tailback is Jalen Warren. Sanders in trouble, escapes, and now just throws it away.
Oh, they're going to go back to that at some point. They had the wheel route at the top of your screen, but he had too much pressure. He wasn't allowed to get to it.
This Jackson player that got in the backfield that probably forced Sanders away from that possible target up top. It's Warren. And he goes nowhere. Jackson player back-to-back. Great plays by the senior from Waco.
Sanders is going to want that one back. Jackson, who is a phenomenal player, gets in there, and you're reading them, and you got to pull that out and get on the edge. The reason you read those inside interior defensive linemen, because they're not used to dealing with the read option, right? So they're not adept in knowing what to do with the running back and the quarterback, and usually the quarterback can run.
Another 3rd and long. Sanders hit as he throws. Incomplete. Diving try to the 45 as a flag comes in.
A lot of contact, a lot of holding, a lot of scrappiness on the sideline there as that ball's in the air, and they're going to call that every time.
Intended target Bryson Green. Tyree Carlisle on the coverage.
Pass interference. Defense number 12. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And one of the many new cornerbacks with his Tulsa secondary, and that's a big penalty on Carlisle.
Yeah, it's just a copycat thing of what Tulsa did, right? You got the play action, you can try and run a goal on the outside. And in college football, after 5 yards, you can make contact, but you can't make contact with the ball coming down and your hand pulling his shoulder pad. That is illegal. Always love to see the DBs that are clearly pass interfering, and then they get so surprised when a flag is thrown. I mean, no matter how late it is, you were clearly grabbing the receiver.
Wide receiver screen to the outside, and that's Green. He's dropped to the line of scrimmage. No gain of the play.
Tulsa does a great job at the point of attack on those screens. The corner is as violent as anybody, making sure that they can't make a play on that ball. And he pays for it there a bit.
It's Trayvon Fuller who's down. So we'll step aside for 30 seconds as the training staff looks at Fuller. And Trayvon Fuller, graduate senior transfer from Texas A&M. Says Tulsa secondary, they lost to Caleb Evans and Allie Green to Missouri, replaced the corners with some transfers. So Fuller comes out, screen set up with room. Jalen Warren across midfield, a hurdle at the 45. First down, Oklahoma State.
Jaden Warren is using their power back, right? How about him getting in the screen game and taking off like a cannon?
First catch for Warren today. Caught 2 passes last week after a gain of 21.
I always thought that was so impressive to see guys at the very last second decide that they're going to jump. Because I'm just telling you, Corey, I play a lot of football. That's just not my thing. You're just so unprotected when you're flying through the air. Everything becomes slow motion. But kudos to everybody that's, you know, the Le'Veon Bells of the world and the Todd Gurleys and obviously the Jalen Warrens that feel very comfortable putting themselves in danger jumping over defenders.
Let's take another look at the play to Warren.
He goes there. Okay, you're going to try and tackle me low. Left, right, and up. And over and lands.
Right over Tyon Davis. Tyneal Martin shaken up on the play. Tulsa safety. This is his first game of the season. He was also suspended last week for his role in the brawl following the Mississippi State Bowl game last year. Martin moved from nickel to free safety last year, as he has to walk that off.
It seems like every time Oklahoma State gets a jolt of energy, something happens, right? Where it's a penalty or someone's injured or it slows them down. Let's see if they can recapture some of that momentum.
Jaden Bray in motion, movement on the Tulsa front.
Yep, take a shot.
Sanders looking deep, will take his shot near the 5, incomplete. Intended for Brennan Presley.
Offside. Defense, number 52. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
We saw Aaron Rodgers on the screen earlier. That's what he's so famous for at the next level, right? Getting guys to get in the neutral zone, snapping the ball, and then taking a shot. Sanders wishes he could have made a little better throw and give it a little, make it a little more perfect, right? You don't have to be so safe because you know that it's a free play.
It's Warren on first down. Lowers the shoulder on Bryson Powers. It'll be second down and short. Jaylen Warren, 5'8", 215. His first year at Oklahoma State, and now Powers is down to a knee as he is hurt.
For an injured player.
Corey, the injured player is the tackler, and look at why. Right, this is targeting on the offense, right? He ducks his head and puts it right into the chest of the defender trying to make the tackle. The referees didn't see it. You know, they don't usually see it on the offense, right, because the offense is trying to protect himself, but you got to kind of try to protect these defenders as well.
So Powers needs some help towards the sideline. Well, to help people affected by Hurricane Ida, visit redcross.org or text the word Ida to 90999 to make a $10 donation. Your gift is a commitment to helping people in need, and every single donation matters. Financial donations enable the Red Cross to help prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster.
Tulsa showed a field blitz. Let's see if they stay in it, and Oklahoma State will attack it with the throw.
2nd and 2 for Warren. A hole up the middle. Has a first down near the 25. Gain of 6.
Those fake snaps are always cool because the defense shows their hand and you can get the appropriate play called.
Cowboys go fast, and this time Tulsa's ready. Jackson player Anthony Goodlow on the stop of Warren, no gain. Yeah, Warren's been busy on this drive. He'll come out.
Yeah, he's been a spark.
In the running game and the passing game on this drive. So Dominic Richardson comes in at tailback on 2nd and 10. Richardson up the middle. There is a flag as he's tackled near the 15. And now another flag comes in late. It's a 9-yard game pending, 1 but maybe 2 calls here. It's an ACC crew officiating this game today, and our referee is Larry Saunders.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation offense, 5 players in the backfield. After the play, personal foul, late hit, defense number 1 with targeting. That play is under further review.
That's Kendarren Ray, the safety, flagged for targeting.
That's the crown of the helmet for sure.
Well, this is the 3rd play that we've had looked at for targeting.
And it makes it very difficult because the runner is ducking his head as well, trying to protect himself. His target level is being lowered, and the defender is coming in, but his head is all the way down. I will be surprised if they do not make this a targeting call.
And Ray hoping that he can stay in this game. So 14-7 game. Let's head to Los Angeles, bring in our rules expert, Mike Pereira. Mike, we've seen a couple of targeting calls, but both were taken off. Do we have targeting here?
You know, I don't think we do. And the first thing you have to realize, this is not a defenseless player. So it's got to be crown of the helmet. And again, you look at it, is it fully crowned? Is it, does it get to the left side of the helmet? It's kind of one of those that's really close. Is he really in attacking motion, or is he just basically bracing for the contact? It's one of those that's iffy, and to me, I just wouldn't like to see targeting on this one.
All right, Mike, thank you. And targeting was called on the field. So 14-7 Tulsa with 2:34 to go in the third quarter. Here's the call.
After further review, the ruling of targeting is confirmed. Number 1 is disqualified. The fouls were both live ball, so the targeting foul will offset the illegal formation. We will replay second down.
So Darren Ray out the rest of this game and the first half of Tulsa's game next week at Ohio State.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, you know, you got defenders who are in. They choose to play defense because they're violent individuals on the football field. And you don't want to, they call it taking the stinger out of the bee, right? You don't want to take a stinger away, but you got to be a little smarter and try to keep your head up, especially guys that are going to the ground.
I do like, and they changed this rule a couple of years ago, that even for a targeted player, that he doesn't have to leave the field of play anymore. I like the fact that that player is allowed to still be on the sideline, and he's not banished to the locker room for the rest of the game.
Banish is an accurate word, right? It felt like, right? It kind of felt like that, where you're banished. You're done. You can't be around the team anymore because you're a detriment to all the success. And it's just like, I don't know about that, right? Take his helmet. He can't come back on the field, but he should be allowed to stay with his team. It's not like that.
And he's a veteran player. He needs to help out his defense here. So to have his experience, at least at minimum, on the sideline is a good thing now for Tulsa.
Another 2-year starting quarterback, right, in high school.
And a career-high 13 tackle game in the opener against UC Davis as Philip Montgomery pleaded his case. So 14-7 Tulsa, 2:34 to go in the third quarter. Oklahoma State with a good drive going. Cowboys have the ball from the Tulsa 15-yard line.
That's a big loss for Tulsa on defense. But when things like that happen, sometimes you see a team play inspired, right? Let's not see if Tulsa, plays a little more inspired with the chip on their shoulder on defense when one of their defensive leaders has been taken out of the game.
They are offsetting penalties, so they're going to move it back to the 25-yard line. So not the 15. The penalty's offset. So it's spotted back at the 25. The officials having a tough time just getting everything set up here.
Yeah, you got to go through the clock. You got to know how much time was left. The yard line. It's a lot that you have to go through as an official.
So again, we had an illegal formation on the offense and a live ball personal foul targeting on the defense. Those fouls offset. It's second down. The player is disqualified. Number 1.
Philip Montgomery not happy with that call at all as he loses a veteran player. And there is Darren Ray done for the day. From the 25 on second down, it's Richardson. He's tripped up near the line of scrimmage by Grant Sawyer after a gain of maybe 2.
Tight end loses at the point of attack, right? That's a personal battle, right? You win your own individual battles. He wasn't able to win it, and the defensive end gets across the ball and makes the play.
Do you move Sanders around here in the pocket on 3rd and 8?
Without question, he's had a bunch of success doing it the few times they allowed him to do it, and it looks like Tulsa's going to bring pressure as well.
8th play of this drive. Here come the Golden Hurricane. Quick throw and a catch across the 20 and brought down near the marker. It's going to be, it looks just to be short as Hopkins made the tackle on Richardson. A gain of 7, so 4th down and short. And decision time here for the Cowboys. For now, they're keeping the offense on the field.
The legs of the quarterback have to come into play here and give Tulsa something to look at. Off to the left of the center, you see a gap for a quarterback sneak.
On 4th and inches, first down run across the 15-yard line. A gain of 3. Austin Gerard, the Cowboy back, was brought in. 89 at fullback. And that allows Richardson to pick up the first down.
And get it off tackle right there. You only needed an inch. Only needed an inch.
The Cowboys pick it up. Warren. Maybe a yard. As we work to a minute to play in the third quarter, Tulsa by 7. Sanders in his first game of the season, 13 out of 25, 138. 11th play of the drive. It's Warren, spins away once, twice, 3 times, and then is brought down. Boy, did Warren work hard for no gain. All that running and no gain.
Yeah, how about Warren? He's, like I said, he's been a burst of energy for this team. I mean, how many guys are you even allowed to make miss? At some point, there has to be a penalty on Warren. Like, you can't just keep on making guys miss left to right to left to right. That's a lot of work for not a long game.
So Player and Wick had shots to drop him for a loss, and that will be the final quarter, the final play of this third quarter in Stillwater. So we go to the fourth quarter. 14-7. Tulsa on top. Back after this at FS1. So great to have fans back in our stadiums. College football in FS1 from Stillwater today. The 75th renewal, Oklahoma State and Tulsa. And Tulsa with a 14-7 lead as we enter the fourth quarter of play.
Yeah, so with 3 quarters down, you got Oklahoma State entering on their second trip into the red zone. Their second trip, Corey. Look at the stats there. Does this feel like 4-down territory, right? You haven't gotten the red zone a bunch, and you don't know how many more opportunities you're going to have. Do you run a play to get a few yards so that you can be in position to score on 4th down, or do you just go for the jugular here?
So 3rd down and 8. Sanders, there's movement, and Tulsa pointing Oklahoma State's way. Initial call is a false start on the Cowboys.
False start, offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It's on Jaden Bray, the freshman wide receiver.
That is not the way that they were planning on going.
Now, you thought it was going to be 4-down territory, but now with the penalty, do you still view it that way?
I mean, it could change things a bit, but the way this game is gone, like I said, you just don't know how many opportunities you're going to get.
Jalen Warren comes back in on 3rd down and 13. Here's the fade towards the end zone. It's caught. Was he in bounds? No. Bryson Green caught it, but out of bounds.
His brother Blaine had a similar play earlier in the game where it's a jump ball opportunity. He goes and gets it, and then he comes down. Does he come down and bounce is the question. He has his right toe on the ground. I think they're going to reverse it. If he remains controlled.
Out of bounds, an incomplete pass.
They're going to have to review that.
He is under further review.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be changed. And this freshman just caught a big touchdown pass here late in this game. You can see the quarterback. I threw a touchdown pass.
You can read his lips as he was looking at the replay. He said the right foot. He said, look at the right foot of Bryson Green. So let's look at the right foot here.
Bang,
number 19.
Bang play. He goes up and gets it with his hands, has it in his body. The right foot is going to slide just gently across the ground. Or is it? Yep, there's the turf. Boom, right there.
That's in.
Right there is where his foot's down before the knee or body heads out of bounds. I think this is going to be overturned for sure.
So Bryson Green freshman from Allen, Texas. Will this be his first career collegiate score to make this a one-point game? And Bryson Green, he played in week 1 against Missouri State, started as a true freshman, was the first Cowboy wideout to start a game as a true freshman since Ricky Price did back in 2006.
Yeah, but he and his brother, they have football in their family, right?
Yeah.
His brother Seth is a wide receiver at Minnesota. His father played football at Minnesota. I mean, they have football in their blood. And you can see these young, talented receivers are only going to get better as the year goes on. And I think he just made his first big play of his college career.
So the call on the field was incomplete. Let's bring in Mike Pereira now from Los Angeles. Mike, what do you think?
If you need me, I will come in on this, Eric, since we're...
Hey, Mike, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, Mike, what do you think? Touchdown or incomplete pass?
I think it's touchdown. I mean, you got to look at what hits first. Does the toe hit first or the shin? To me, it's the toe before the shin. And if it was simultaneous, it would be incomplete. And I think he maintains control of the ball also.
Here's the call.
After further review, the receiver completed the process of a catch.
So the first touchdown reception in the collegiate career for Bryson Green comes in the 4th quarter. And now the Cowboys an extra point away from a tie game. Yeah, great catch, but also a good throw.
Yeah.
That was a good throw there from
nice,
Spencer Sanders.
The back shoulder throw, right, made so famous by Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. It's an almost unstoppable throw when you do it right.
Extra point is up and good for Alex Hale. So Sanders to Green to tie things up. Early 4th quarter, even in Stillwater. FS1 College Football is sponsored by Edward Jones. Life is for living. Let's partner for all of it. All tied 14-14. Sanders to Bryson Green, a 16-yard a 16-yard touchdown play, capping off a 13-play drive. Wind has picked up a little bit.
After a slow first half, these two teams have found their groove. Drives of 76 and 80 with their backs against the wall, right? A lot of pressure situation. These two quarterbacks are looking to play a lot better in this second half and into this 4th quarter.
Tanner Brown to boot this one away. And as I said, the wind has picked up a little bit. And blowing from right to left. Stokes will run it from the 2-yard line, and his helmet comes off as he's brought down near the 10. So the special teams continues to pin Tulsa back.
Yeah, so obviously that's not a good decision, but look who's making the decision. Keelan Stokes, their best receiver, 95 yards a week ago, and he hasn't made a splash on this game, right? So he's trying to find his way into the game. He only has 2 catches for 19 yards on the day, and that is the wrong time to put yourself in the game. Coach talked about him as a dog, right? One of the toughest players on their team, and he's just a guy that's just going to go get it no matter what. And his favorite player, Jarvis Landry, right? That same type of characteristics, and he picked his wrong spot on that
one. On the 11, Deneric Prince. Gain of 3. Tackled by Harper. Harper's been in and out today, battling an ankle injury. And they had the tackle on that first down run from Prince.
Let's see if Tulsa trusts their quarterback. Don't be conservative here. Attack the defense the way you've attacked them because your quarterback is playing well, and they're going to do it here.
Pick up the blitz from Rodriguez. Bryn with a run and a first down, tiptoeing out near the 25.
Every single time Bryn does something like that where all his receivers are covered, as you can see, and he doesn't make a bad decision, he implants confidence, right, in the play caller to make sure, hey, I can trust my quarterback. I can call pass plays down the field, and he won't make a bad play worse. Very good job by Bryn there, tucking it, going and getting the first down.
Yeah, through 2 picks last week, nothing yet so far today. On first down, steps up, deep ball down the middle. That's a strike and caught inside the 40-yard line by Juan Carlos Santana.
Why can the coordinator call that play? Because he proved he can be trusted. That's a great throw right down the middle of the field on the face mask of Juan Carlos. Very good job.
37 yards, and Tulsa keeps the tempo moving here. Lowering the shoulder is Prince. Tackled by Jarek Bernard-Converse.
This is more of the quarterback that they thought they would see. Coach Montgomery said, hey, that guy that we saw in week 1, we don't know him, right? He was inconsistent, he was inaccurate, and he didn't have poise, right? He started to press. In this game, he's been in complete control, and you can see it on display.
Prince out, Shamari Brooks in a tailback. Instead, Bryn's going to throw, and that took time, and it's caught. Inside the 10-yard line is Johnson. Some trash talk at the end in the face of Christian Holmes. First and goal, Tulsa after a gain of 28.
When you're feeling real good, you got a guy in your face, you go a little sidearm, get knocked out, don't even get a chance to see the throw. That's what quarterbacks love.
First and goal up the middle. That's Brooks, and he is popped at around the 3 and driven back. Trey Sterling, who could not play the first half, had a sit stemming from the targeting call during week 1. Made the tackle, second and goal. Stretching and short. Ooh, that ball almost came out of the 1-yard line as Brooks was stretching for the goal line. Came up short after a gain of 3, third down.
Got to read the room and read the situation. That's not something that you need right there, right? Just get as much as you can so that you can get in the end zone, but you don't want to suffer a fumble because you're reaching out trying to get more.
See 77, that's Bryce Bray for Tulsa. Tackle transfer from Oklahoma State to Tulsa.
They might try to outflank the defense to the top of your screen.
On third and goal, it's up the middle. It's a hit on Prince, and he is driven back. Harper and Sterling in the backfield. It's fourth and goal. Decision time here for the Golden Hurricane in a 14-14 game.
Yeah, it's just an inside zone right up the middle, and these linebackers are not having it. He scoots through the middle. Oh, my goodness, he got through there fast. Devin Harper. I mean, he's got a great first name, I can tell you that, Corey. Just scoots right through the offensive line, untouched to stop that play at the start, and then his buddies come.
Tulsa's going to line up for the field goal, a 20-yard try. Here's Zach Long. And that's up and good as he connects on his second made field goal of the season. So a 20-yard field goal, and Tulsa has the lead by 3 in the fourth quarter in Stillwater. And a drive that began at Tulsa's own 11-yard line. Davis Bryn, Devin, made things happen with his feet and also with his arm, leading to a Tulsa field goal.
Yeah, you see him there. He's throwing with confidence. Ever since a little earlier in the game, he had an incompletion on third down. They got off the field. That next drive, he was lights out, and he continues to be that way moving toward the end of this game. He's playing his best football when they need him to.
So a 9-play drive and capped off by the field goal.
We saw him on the sideline talking to the defense, getting everybody riled up, right? He's in complete control right now, and it's something that Coach Montgomery is very happy about.
This is a return across the 40-yard line. L.D. Brown down the sideline. L.D. TD. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. 98 yards.
talked about Davis Brinn's play being something that Coach Montgomery is happy about. That right there is something that he is not going to be happy about. Till this point in the game, special teams has not hurt either team a bunch, right? Maybe a little bit on the Tulsa side, but a huge play.
Now, Brennan Presley, he was returning kicks in the first half. The second half, it's been L.D. Brown. And that move leads to a 98-yard return for a touchdown for L.D. Brown.
And I want to check his background because he might have been a 200-meter dash runner, because when you start on the numbers on that right, you get on the edge and you turn that corner. That's the 200-meter dash with one guy to beat. He beats the kicker, and he is gone. L.D. Brown hasn't run the ball great today, but he makes his splash with 98 yards on the kickoff return. That's a senior leader. And the crowd loves it.
So Oklahoma State now leads by 4. 98-yard return for L.D. Brown in his 44th career game. Redshirt senior from Dallas.
Talked about in high school, he's a 2,100-yard rusher and 28 touchdowns in his senior year.
First kickoff return for a score since 2007 for the Cowboys. And with the wind at the back of Tanner Brown, Tulsa will have it from its own 25, now down 4 as we look at Davis Brinn. He's had a good second half.
Yeah, he didn't expect to get back on the field so fast, but I think he's ready. Corey, I mean, the way he's played in the second half has been exceptional. They've trusted him with the ball in his hands. He's made good decisions with his feet and with his arm. Let's see if he can do it one more time. Conviction, Corey. Remember that word, conviction. He's been throwing with conviction since late in the third quarter.
And he's hung in the pocket. He knew pressure was coming. He was going to get hit, but hung in there and delivered, certainly on that last drive. Prince, the tailback, on first down. Prince trying the left side. Not much. Harvell Peel. And Antoine on the stop. Pressure coming. Brinn tucks it. Looking downfield, in trouble. Lets it fly, incomplete. And a flag comes in behind the play. Johnson in the vicinity of that throw.
How about that by Brinn? He's got a cross dog coming right in his face. Trusted his team is going to pick it up.
Holding defense number 4. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's on Corey Black.
Corey, that play is made by Brinn every day of the week. The reason he has to hold is because he's extending the play. You got a cross dog blitz coming right up the middle, and it looks like they may get through, and the offensive line picks it up to running back. Boom! Right there stops them. You extend the play, and so now the defense has been covering for way too long, and he stops them. Oh, my goodness. Brinn is, I think they call this in your bag, right? He's feeling very comfortable out there.
Yeah, Prince did a good job picking up that block on the blitzing Rodriguez. Now Brinn steps up underneath. That took time, and that's caught by Keelan Stokes. Another flag. Haven't called Stokes' name too much today for now his third catch.
Holding offense number 56. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
It's on Tyler Smith, starting left tackle.
Here goes Tyler Smith right here. He gets beat initially, and he's essentially just trying to clothesline the defender. You're not allowed to do that. I mean, that's a great job by Bren, though, stepping up in the pocket, having the feel. But his tackle has to have quicker and better feet if he's going to allow his quarterback to have some time.
So that backs up the ball inside the Tulsa 30-yard line. Here's Brooks looking for a seam up the middle. Not much. Picks up 3. Jaden Jernigan, he was questionable to play today. Made the stop, 42 for Oklahoma State.
Second down and long is a big-time screen down. So look for Oklahoma State to stay with their eyes in the backfield to make sure that they don't get to chasing the receivers around the field and allow a screen to hit them right behind them. If it is a screen, this is the guy that's going to stop it. Malcolm Rodriguez.
On 2nd and 17.
There he goes.
Bren steps up, cuts back, and is brought down near the 37-yard line. And Rodriguez was coming in, eventually made the tackle after a pickup of 7.
Under pressure, but doesn't panic. Poise, right? We talked about in the opener that they thought they would see that poise quarterback that they remember from the Tulane game. He does exactly what he's supposed to do when nobody's open. He takes it and goes. And now you set up yourself. It's a 3rd and long, but it's a lot better than 3rd and 17.
Tulsa 0 for its last 6 on 3rd down. 3rd and 10, pressure coming, throws high and knocked away, incomplete by Christian Holmes.
Another good throw, but better defense. You're going to get him trying to come on a dig route right across the field. Got away with a little shoulder pad with that back right hand, but if the ref doesn't see it, they call it a savvy play.
Intended for Cannon Montgomery, Phillips' son. So Tulsa now 3 of 12 on 3rd down. And a punt. From the 15. This is Presley on a late hit. And the Cowboy bench hoping for a flag. That won't happen.
Yeah, I think he was blocked into him there, Corey. They're not going to get him for a late hit.
Timeout. 49-yard punt, a return of 12. Cowboys following the touchdown. Made a defensive play. Oklahoma State ball when we come back. Cowboy offense back on the field. 7:56 to play. 21-17. Corey Provis, Evan Gardner, Mike Pereira in Los Angeles. And we thank you for joining us. Sanders 2 touchdowns with an interception today. Richardson the tailback. He has the ball and he is brought down near the 30 by Cullen Wick after a gain of 2. The running game was non-existent last week and not much better today, Devin.
Yeah, I mean, 2.5 yards per carry. 2.5. I mean, that's not what they were looking for. They thought that Sanders would come in and help that run game, but they have some other issues that they're going to have to get sorted out.
Richardson again. And that's contained well by Tulsa. So a gain of 1. This will set up 3rd and 7.
Remember we talked to Coach Dunn. He said that offensive line is still not solidified, right? You got a lot of guys shuffling in and still trying to find chemistry. And in the run game, chemistry amongst the offensive line to try to get to the second level and different things like that is very important. And maybe that's why the run game can't be as effective as they want it.
On 3rd and 7, it's a throw, and that's a catch. And a first down brought down near midfield. Jaden Bray with the reception as Sanders finds the freshman. 1st and 10, Oklahoma State. A 19-yard play on 3rd and 7. Sanders keeps it. And he's brought down near the 45 after a gain of 4 by Wick as we go back to the third down play.
We've been clamoring for the RPO. This is the read key right here. You're going to see if he moves, you're going to throw that slant right behind the head of the defender. Very, very good job by Sanders, knowing what he has, knowing what he wants to get to, and executing. How about Jaden Bray having himself quite a day?
Guy that arrived in January. Valuable snaps as a true freshman. Sanders, he's going to make this something. Sanders, sideline, 10, and dragged down inside the 10. And that ball came out, and for now recovered by Tulsa. Unless they say Sanders was down, L.J. Wallace popped it free. And Dorian Hopkins has the ball in his hand.
I don't think they're going to make this a fumble, and it's kind of the same thing we saw earlier where they don't blow it dead so that just in case they don't have an inadvertent whistle.
Wow.
That's why you have the ball in the outside arm for the young people at home watching. You can't protect the ball on the inside arm, and that's what happens. Now, the one thing they're going to have to take a look at is the defender touching the ball with his leg out of bounds, right? If he does that, that means the ball is out of bounds, and that will mean that Oklahoma State keeps the ball.
You know, clearly the ball was out.
So it's definitely a fumble. They're going to see that. They're going to confirm a fumble. But touching the ball while out of bounds, it's number 7, Martin, who's going to have the ball in his grasp with his leg touching the white, which makes the ball out of bounds, and that means a fumble out of bounds. Oklahoma State retains possession.
Right there.
Yep.
So Martin, and we'll get a good look at it here, as the ball is out, and there's Martin. And it looks like that left toe is out of bounds.
That is going to be a tough break for Tulsa, right? The intensity and the wherewithal to get to the runner and get the ball out after a very big play, and then if he's not able to recover it, devastating.
So the call on the field is a fumble. Recovered by Tulsa pending the review with 5:50 to go in the fourth quarter.
Young football players at home watching this. Ball in the outside arm. Now, if you fumble, it goes out of bounds, or just hold the ball a little tighter. But the outside arm is where the ball is protected. So now you have the ball, your body, and then the defender.
Now, Sanders earlier in his collegiate career certainly was turnover prone. And L.J. Wallace punched it out. All right, let's head to Los Angeles, bring in Mike Pereira. Mike, let's get your take on the call right now.
Well, you got a couple things to look at here. First of all, as you said, is the toe on the ground when he actually touches the ball. If that's the case, then it is just a forward fumble and out of bounds, and we go back to the spot of the fumble. The other thing you have to look at is actually, did he control the ball after going to the ground? Because you're going to see the ball pop out. But again, you're looking at that and say, does it pop out because of the ground, or does it come out after he's lifting the ball up from the ground? So a lot of things to look at here. Ruling on the field again was fumble and a recovery by the defense. So we'll see when they look at this if they've got the shots that they can stay with that call.
All right, Mike, thank you. So the call on the field was fumble. And now as we take a closer look here, so that is Tyneil Martin with the blue gloves around the ball, but where are the feet? All right, here's the call. Big call here from Larry Saunders.
After further review, the runner fumbled the football. However, it was touched by a member of the defense who was out of bounds. That's a fumble forward out of bounds. It'll be Oklahoma State's football, first down at the 8-yard line. The clock will start on my signal.
Well, Devin, great call. You picked up on that right away. So the ball was popped out, but Martin was out of bounds, so Oklahoma State gets it back, 1st and goal.
Got away with one there. Now Oklahoma State has to punch this in, right? Luck is on their side at this point.
A 77-yard gain.
That's a big momentum shift. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't put this ball in the air. Coach Montgomery trying to figure out what's going on. Did we recover the ball? Was it clear that we didn't recover it? How did you guys change that call? And it's a big call for my team.
It's a 37-yard play as Philip Montgomery hoping for further explanation. So for a moment, Tulsa felt like they were going to get the ball back. Instead, the Cowboys up by 4 have the ball, first and goal from the 8. Tailback is Wallace at Warren, Jalen Warren, and he's brought down for a loss. Loss of 3. You know, Tulsa right now, Devin, hoping to keep this to a field goal to keep this a one-possession game.
Yeah. See if they can be that bend but don't break defense.
From the 11 on second and goal. It's Warren the right side. Slips away once, cuts back, and Warren bounces it outside. An amazing touchdown run for Jalen Warren.
That's illegal. Jalen Warren is a magician. We saw it earlier on a play where he gained no yards, but how about this when he gets the ball? He sticks his foot in the ground. Okay, make that guy miss, and then we're going to get vertical. We're going to stick it. We're going to go outside. Oh, excuse me. And then we're going to scamper right into the corner of the end zone. He's looking like a young Barry Sanders. Talk about Oklahoma State football.
Tulsa did everything right but tackle. And the extra point is good. So Jalen Warren, remarkable effort in his first year as a Cowboy. The transfer from Utah State makes this an 11-point game with under 5 to play at FS1.
Corey, I'm not sure, but there might have been a Barry Sanders sighting just a second ago, or at least shades of Barry Sanders, right? This young man, Warren, I mean, how many times have you seen Barry Sanders in the backfield, shouldn't go, and gone? Growing up in Detroit, I loved Barry Sanders. I actually got a chance to meet him on a number of different occasions, and yeah, that's impressive, and that's not like a one-time thing, right? Warren's done it a number of different times in this game, and that time it pays off with a score.
Second touchdown as a Cowboy. As the ball goes through the end zone. Now Tulsa down 11 with 2 timeouts and 4:59 to play. Davis Brin, he's had some really good moments today. And what can he do right now with under 5 to play, down 11? Tulsa had momentum, led 17-14, but the ensuing kickoff was returned for a score by L.D. Brown, 98 yards. Looked like that Tulsa was going to get it back following a turnover, but overturned, and Oklahoma State kept the ball. And Warren with a touchdown run a moment ago to make this an 11-point game. Wide receiver screen dropped. And the blocking was there.
Ruling on the field as an incomplete forward pass.
Juan Carlos Santana had a shot.
You always love the defenders that, you know, it's clearly a forward pass, but they pick it up, scoop it, and score, you know. I always thought that was a waste of energy, right? Because he's got another play. If I'm a coordinator, hey, go up top on that guy because he's tired because he just ran a touchdown that didn't count.
Especially since it's hot today.
Yeah.
Over 90 degrees in Stillwater today.
Soft coverage at the top of the screen, yep.
Gain of about 5, maybe 6 to Santana. And Christian Holmes is down.
Timeout for an injured player.
He sat down and grabbed his shoulder immediately.
Now the fourth quarter, we've seen some action here in Stillwater today. Tulsa led by 3. The kickoff to L.D. Brown. As he got by the kicker, Zach Long, and took it all the way 98 yards. And then Spencer Sanders with a long run. It was punched out, recovered by Tulsa. But upon review, the officials ruling that Tanyo Martin was out of bounds when he touched it. So it stuck with the Cowboys. Then Jalen Warren took advantage of the second opportunity and punched it in for a touchdown run. All here in this fourth quarter.
It's really picked up, right? I mean, we're sitting here and we're in the half and it's 7-7, but it's kind of like the last 2 possessions made it 7-7, could have been 0-0, and then we've just exploded in this fourth quarter.
On 3rd and 4, that's a first down catch. And that's Deneric Prince with the reception, his 4th catch today. First down, Tulsa.
I've really enjoyed watching the development and the maturation of Davis Brin right in front of our eyes. We watched him turn that throw down earlier in the game, and he's hit it 3 or 4 times after that for big gains. Getting the ball out when your running back outflanks the defense quickly so he can run with it.
A pocket. Brin keeps it alive. Underneath, it's Prince, and he slips across midfield and took a late hit.
That's a penalty.
And that'll be a flag on Harper.
Not even close.
And now another one comes in. And that's an obvious call. It'll be tacked on following the play to Deneric Prince.
It's a very nice run after catch by Prince, but he's clearly 2 to 3 steps out of bounds, and he just comes and levels him. Luckily, that's not done on Tulsa's sideline. Harper got away with one earlier on the target, and they thought might have been a target, and then he comes in. That's definitely a 15-yard penalty.
Redshirt senior linebacker was questionable today with an ankle injury. So after the penalty, the ball is going to be marked off at the 31-yard line. Brin, time, throws, caught for a gain of about 8.
For the majority of this game, Oklahoma State has put a lot of pressure on Brin, but it's really slowed down. The more that he's been able to execute, the slower the rush has been.
Crawford the catch, clock running, 3:20 to go. On 2nd and 2, first, it's a run for Anthony Watkins, and he's brought down inside the 5.
And when I played, they went ditto, 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 which means do the same play very quickly while they're trying to substitute. There it goes.
Watkins to the outside, and he spins towards the goal line. He's in for a touchdown.
Ignore those flags. It's going to be a legal substitution. That's a touchdown, Tulsa.
Illegal substitution, defense, more than 11 players. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
So Watkins, 2nd year back for Tulsa, transfer from Missouri with the touchdown. And that's what Tulsa needed, a quick strike. And now the Golden Hurricane will line up and go for 2, it appears.
As you saw at the bottom of your screen, the entire Oklahoma State defensive line trying to get on the field and get off the field. And like I said, ditto, ditto, ditto. Do the same play we just did to get a big gain. Get in the end zone when the other team's not ready.
Going for 2 here to try and make this a 3-point game.
This is big. This is big. You get 25 points, and you cut it to 3.
And the play clock was winding down, and Tulsa's going to have to burn its 2nd timeout.
Timeout, Tulsa.
So the Golden Hurricane had a burn their second time out as the Cowboys, Devin, were shuffling players in and out, and Tulsa took advantage.
Yeah, so you see sometimes the referee stand over the ball and allow substitutions, but that's only if the Tulsa offense substitutes themselves. But because they went same play, they had no reason to substitute. So Oklahoma State tries to make mass substitutions, and there's no chance. That ball snapped, and they got about 16 and a half guys on the field. You got one guy straddling the sideline, I'm sure.
All right, so what's the call here in a vital 2-point try to make this a 3-point game if you're the Golden Hurricane right now?
I mean, I think you go with who brought you here, right? Some type of pick type play to the boundary. You saw him line up in that bunch set. Some type of pick play to try to get the ball to open guy. But if not, you trust Bryn to either extend the play with his legs like he's done all day or run it in himself. All right, so maybe get these two guys vertical and then have him underneath.
Prince the tailback, the 2-point try. Here's the fade. It's up and nearly brought in by Naylor. Coverage from Holmes, 0-on-0.
Bryn thought he had a better matchup to the field with his very lengthy wide receiver, Ezra Naylor. He throws him up the fade, and he almost has it. Just didn't finish.
Now, Bryn gave his receiver a chance. But Christian Holmes
unable to finish the play.
Favoring that left arm as he walks on the sideline. So Tulsa only has 1 timeout left.
To the top and to the bottom of your screen right here, they had a play design where they went vertical, and then he brought him around. Bryn just picked the wrong side, and sometimes that's what you do. He could have got a throw coming underneath, but he'd already chosen to throw the fade.
Only 1 timeout left. Onside kick here, down 5 with 3:06 to go.
I think you almost have to right here, right? And you know they got 2 kickers out there. Always love. This is always an adventure. Which guy's gonna kick it?
Onside try.
Nice discipline there. Nice discipline. Trey Sterling and understanding the situation, not trying to be a hero, getting out of the way of the ball.
And Brennan Presley was able to receive the onside try. Never got that big hop. There is a flag.
You see guys lose their jobs at the next level for being on that hands team and trying to be a hero and not doing your job, right? The ball is supposed to go past you to the hands behind you. Sterling does a great job.
Illegal numbering on the kicking team. 2 numbered 90s participating at the same time. 5-yard penalty will be tacked on. It's first down.
That happens in college football.
Yeah, that's the struggle of college.
Double number.
You got 2 guys.
You got Jackson Blair.
You know why they put that player in. you put 90 in to knock somebody's face off so that he can go and try and recover that ball. But you got to make sure that you try to do the old quick jersey switcheroo or something like that. But they didn't do it. But no harm, no foul.
Now Jackson Player, D. Lyman 90, kicker Zach Long. He also wears 90. There he is. So only 1 timeout left.
Those darn kickers.
As the Cowboys are 3:05 away from win number 2.
Ball security is at a premium right now.
Loss of 3 on the carry for Warren. As Oklahoma State will milk this clock.
I think you absolutely stay with Warren, right? Not a whole bunch of rushing yards on the day, but he's been exceptional with the opportunities that he's had.
With that touchdown run earlier this quarter, he's earned Now these snaps, these carries, they're late.
Away.
He's Warren to the outside. Warren, first down.
He refused to go to the ground. Even after that hit, he goes to the sideline and refuses to hit the ground.
There's a flag with 2:15 to play.
Holding offense number 85. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Coming back on Jaden Bray.
How about the importance of that, though, right? The clock stops.
Wipes out a 20-yard play.
So essentially gives Tulsa a timeout. It's the freshman. It's not a whole bunch there, but he has to let go. If he lets go, that flag never gets thrown, but he continues to hold him. Rookie mistake by the freshman, Jaden Bray.
There is no timeout on the field. The coach has elected to have the clock start on the snap.
Well, tonight on Fox, join us as the Yankees take on the Mets at Citi Field on the 20th anniversary of the day America will never forget. Tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Should be an emotional scene. Remember that first game back following 9/11, Mets and Braves. And now at Citi Field tonight, Yankees and the Mets. 7 Eastern on Fox. It's Warren.
Gonna get a timeout here.
And Tulsa is going to burn its final timeout with 2:10 to play. After a gain of 4.
That penalty was big because now you can get the ball back, because I would imagine that Oklahoma State is not going to try to put the ball in the air and put the ball in harm's way.
So a 5-point game as Tulsa burns its final timeout. As we look at our game summary today, low scoring first half, really third quarter. Then things opened up a bit here in the fourth quarter. There's one turnover that led to a pick six. Justin Wright, linebacker for Tulsa. Davis Brin, if he was inconsistent last week, he has been much better today.
Yeah, he's been the model of consistency, especially in the second half.
Spencer Sanders, some big throws. Used his legs as well in this pivotal fourth quarter.
We talked about that being the difference, right? You got that big run. Even though he fumbled, right, it ended up not hurting him. But that was the difference in the game, right? That's the touchdown that has them in the lead right now and trying to salt the game away.
So 3rd down and 8. Does Oklahoma State even risk a pass right now with Tulsa out of timeouts?
I wouldn't, and if I do, it's going to be a naked bootleg where you get him on the edge and you tell him, hey, if it's open, you can throw it, but if not, you run and get what you can, and we can salt some more of this clock away before we punt it away to Tulsa.
Warren, the tailback. Braden Cassidy, the Cowboy back to fullback. It is Sanders. Sanders keeps it, runs, and brought down near the 35.
And that's what I said it would be. And I think he got the first down, Corey.
He got it. Needed 8, picked up 9.
Man, Tulsa has to be aware of that. I mean, that's the only option here, right? You do a naked bootleg, and you tell him, don't throw the ball. Just run and get what you can. But he runs and gets a first down. Very well-designed play.
See the first down marker, and He hasn't.
Well past it. Well past.
How
about the adjustment, right? Ball in the where? Outside arm so you can protect it. And now they're just going to kneel it down.
Victory formation for Oklahoma State as Sanders takes a knee. Now the 75th renewal of the Turnpike Classic. It was tight throughout. And Tulsa was seeking its first win in Stillwater since 1951. But the Cowboys made enough plays in the fourth quarter, and they will win again. As Philip Montgomery, the Golden Hurricane, fall to 0-2. Next up, they'll be at the Shoe to take on Ohio State. Oklahoma State goes to Boise State next Saturday.
Doesn't get any easier for Tulsa. One OSU, and then you got to go to Columbus to go against another OSU, who's in a dogfight right now with Oregon.
So Mike Gundy now 6-0 all-time against Tulsa. This will be the final snap for Spencer Sanders in his first game of the season. Missed the opener due to COVID protocol. Made some plays here in the second half. And Oklahoma State beats Tulsa for the 23rd consecutive time in Stillwater. Final score, Oklahoma State 28, Tulsa 23. Now we send you to State College for Penn State and Ball State. So long, everybody.